Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. Tom Leach, along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's director of simulcasting. And we're going to take a look at 3 graded steaks at Oaklawn and a grade 1 from Santa Anita. Last week, ready for rye. Got rained out of the original date of this whale. We came back, one paid a nice price. So I had that one and then some exactas with the favorites, Dortmund and Shared Beliefs, so nothing great there. But nice run for Ready for Rye last week. Hopefully you had some luck. Jim, we're going to start at Oaklawn. 7th race is the grade 2 Azeri for fillies and mares 4 and up. And this could be one just to watch and see how the champ looks, right?
Yeah, she looks so good at Breeders' Cup last year, and
it's
kind of sad to see Rosie not riding Untapable, but pretty good substitute rider in Johnny Velasquez.
He'll do.
So yeah, he'll do in a pinch. But she hadn't run since October 31st, but she looks like she's training well, and it looks like it's a race for second here. I think Untapable is probably going to go off at 1-5, and deservedly so. I did think that Flashy American's last race, she was hung outside in the 10-hole in the Bayacoa, so I give her a little advantage over the other horses coming out of that race. Gold Medal Dancer had to fight for the lead, so there is a chance. Untapable doesn't want the lead; she's going to come from out of it. So I guess if you went for a price here, I like Flashy American, but Gold Medal Dancer might have a shot at stealing it. But I think it's one to watch. If you want to play an exacta with Untapable on top of Gold Medal Dancer, that might be a little bit. So maybe a 1-4 exacta just a little bit.
Yeah, I look at Untapable. She's working really well. A huge class edge here, and I just couldn't find any way to beat her. You know, if she gets beat, I would assume it would be off the layoff. But I just going to do an exacta box with Untapable and Flashy American, and if she be a little bit short, maybe Flashy American, who's run well at Oaklawn, could get there, but don't see anybody really beating Untapable. 8th race is the Razorback, a grade 3, mile and a 16th for 4-year-olds and up. I think Todd Pletcher shipped in and won this one last year, and I'm going to take him again with Race Day, who is going second off a short layoff and has worked exceptionally well for this, and Pletcher's really good at, when a horse gets good, picking a spot to ship out and win a stake. So I'm going to try Race Day to beat some more accomplished rivals like Carve, Tapiture, and Ride on Curlin. And I'm going to try, hopefully get a little value with Pletcher on Race Day, number 5. How about you?
I think Tapiture's probably going to be the favorite here just because of connections and people trying to do a 1-1 double with Untapable in the race before. But I think Race Day has a real shot, back-to-back triple-digit buyers and got a lot of speed. But I went with Carve. A couple of reasons. I think when you look at Tapiture, he hasn't run since the Breeders' Cup. And Carve ran in the same race, Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, but he came back with a prep race on January 16th at Oaklawn at this distance, and he won by 3.5 over a couple of nice horses, Code West and Zebros. And Brad Cox is 24% at Oaklawn. He's always got live horses down there. He seems to love it. So I'm going to go with Carve here, thinking that prep race got him ready to maybe get the edge on Tapiture. Race Day and Ride on Curlin certainly have shots. Midnight Hawk ships in for Baffert. Nice little race for only 7 horses, but I'm going with Carve on top.
And the last one we'll take a look at from Oaklawn is the 10th race. So the 9th is not a stake. The 10th, it's the grade 2 Rebel. Derby prep for 3-year-olds at a mile and a 16th. And we've got the champ, American Pharoah, making his 3-year-old debut in here. Can you beat him?
Yeah, this would have been so cool if Take Charge Brandy. I'm sure most of our listeners would realize that champion 2-year-old filly against the champion 3-year-old in his debut, that was going to be so cool. I know Charlie Sella's sick because he made this race $750,000, and it looks like a paid workout now for American Pharoah. We felt bad about Take Charge Brandy getting hurt too because we felt like she could run in the Ashland here and then come back in the Kentucky Oaks, but just had a bad break, and we'll be back in training, but it's going to miss those big races, obviously. I think if you could beat American Pharoah, Bold Conquest, the 5-horse, showed a lot of promise as a 2-year-old at Churchill and at Keeneland. Although he ran way behind Carpe Diem, he just was out of it that day, and Carpe Diem was so impressive. But if you go back to the Iroquois, he was really good there, and then came back to Oaklawn in the Southwest and caught a sloppy track. I watched that race, and he just didn't seem to take to the track, but he did finish up well. He only got beat 3.5 lengths by far right, and so I can make a case for Bold Conquest, but it's probably maybe just behind American Pharoah. The Truth or Else, the 1-horse, ran very well. First time out Lasix, 22-1 in the Southwest, and would have won the race had not Far Right if you remember, veered down to the rail and got up for the win. But Truth or Else only got beat 3/4 of a length. So I think probably it's American Pharoah's race to win or lose. Bold Conquest and Truth or Else have a shot. So I'm going to go with 4 over 1.5 here.
I'm in the same ballpark there with you on the Rebel. I like American Pharoah working well. Baffert shipping in, and he's just has a stellar record when he ships his Derby prospects into Oaklawn. But Bold Conquest is the one I like for a price. I'm like you. I thought he was really running the best he ran the whole race in the last part of the stretch drive, and I picked him in the last race, and I saw him the way he finished, and I thought, I'm going to look for this horse next time, and unfortunately he's in against American Pharoah. So do an exacta box and hope Bold Conquest finds a way to get on top, and hope the exacta's decent if he runs second to American Pharoah. But I'm going to go with American Pharoah to win the Rebel. Santa Anita has a grade 1. The Santa Margarita for fillies and mares, 4 and up. They'll go a mile and an eighth. I went with Dame Dorothy. Her debut race for 2015 was her best buyer, and she picks up the top jock on the local circuit, Bejarano, for this run, and it's Pletcher shipping across the country. And again, sharp guy picking these kinds of spots. I'm going to use her in exacta boxes with Cassatt, the 2, who was almost my pick, but such a long layoff she's coming off for Larry Jones. The 4, the girl in that song, and the 7, Warren's Veneta, who won last time in this level of competition. Who do you like in the Santa Margarita?
Yeah, the Santa Maria is the prep race for this. It's a grade 2, and it was run on February 14th, and 5 of these mares and fillies came out of that race. And, Warren's Veneta won really easily, and the horse that ran second was Uzil ran second at 52-1. You kind of worry about a race coming back when you got 5 horses coming out of the same race, and the girl in that song was touted a little bit. That race was actually the 9-5 favorite, was down the rail, didn't get much of a trip, but I'm thinking that race might not have been that good. So in that case, I'm going with 2 horses that you mentioned, Dame Dorothy and Cassatt, and I leaned a little bit toward Cassatt, even though she's coming off a layoff. She has raced 9 times at 8 different racetracks and has won 6 times with $600,000 in winnings. Has never been to Santa Anita, but did beat the girl in that song by 4.5 lengths back in November of 2014. So she's raced at this level before, ran in the cotillion against Untapable in 2014. So Larry Jones gets him ready. He's hot right now, 29% trainer for the year. So I think Cassatt has a real shot. I'm going to take Dame Dorothy and Warren's Veneta as the best out of that Santa Maria race. But I'm taking a shot here that race wasn't that great.
Not that far till opening weekend at Keeneland's, just 3 weeks away. And don't forget, the Ashland and the Bluegrass are on the same day this year, on the first Saturday of the meet. And make sure you have your Keeneland Select accounts funded. If you're tied up with basketball over the next few weeks, you can always get a play down through Keeneland Select if you're not out at Keeneland simulcasting. You guys still do the Friday night contest, right?
We are. We've got 2 more. We've got one this Friday night, the 13th, and then we've got our last one on the 20th. And we're doing a little special deal this Friday night. If you bring a friend that hasn't played in one of our Friday night contests this year, you get another free entry. So that's a $35 bonus for you. Hopefully we're going to break our record. We had almost 160 entrants 2 weeks ago. We got canceled last week because of the weather, but 2 weeks ago we had almost 160. So first place is $2,100. So come out and join us. We've got a great meal, and then the last one is the 20th.
And the Cats play in the afternoon, and the other games will be on the TVs.
Yeah, it worked out real well for us.
There you go. Best of luck this weekend with your wagers. We'll be back next weekend for another edition of the In the Money podcast. For Jim Goodman, I'm Tom Leach for KeenelandSelect.com.